Hey guys, and welcome back to Battlefront updates and some really good Star Wars Battlefront 2 news. It's been a while since we got some proper, straight up good news, but today we did actually get that. If you haven't seen my previous roadmap video, I highly suggest you to check that out, because that one covers all the main things like when the heroes are arriving and so on. And I'm not going to go into detail about that here, but I will be mainly going over the new additions that were not in the roadmap we saw 2 days ago. And first of all, we have the new vehicles that have been added to the November section of the roadmap. STAP, Barc Speeder and ATTE. And not only that, Ben confirmed out on Twitter that the ATTE is the largest vehicle DICE has ever built, and it is not on rails. I was pretty much certain it was going to be on the rails, but it's not. It's going to be fully controllable, so that is a really nice surprise. To get all those three vehicles in November is gonna be awesome. I think that could be one of the best drops of content so far for this game, because we are getting Geonosis and 212th and those three vehicles, and they also confirm in November that we're getting Obi-Wan Kenobi plus 2 appearances. So that means that we're getting 3 appearances in total, since we always have the base appearance, and that is really good news. We could, for instance, have 1 Clone Wars Armor Obi-Wan, 1 Attack of the Clones Obi-Wan, and 1 Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan. Which one is going to be the default one is a bit tricky, but I would guess Attack of the Clones, considering he's being dropped together with Geonosis. But I'm very glad we're getting 3 different appearances on launch, or well, 1 default and 2 extra skins to be more specific. So those are the 2 main good news from today. The rest of it is the things we already knew, such as the fact that in September we're getting the squad system and the 91st and 104th. In October we're getting General Grievous plus an appearance. So that's probably gonna be with a cape or something, I guess, because he doesn't have too many appearances. And then I already talked about November, and then in winter we have Count Dooku, Anakin Skywalker, new game mode featuring capture points and capital ship takedowns, as well as appearances such as the Coruscant Guard and the 501st Legion clone troopers. And to be specific, they also in the text form confirm that both Count Dooku and Anakin will have additional appearances, although it doesn't say in the graphic right here. So again, like I mentioned before, we still don't really know if we're gonna get anything in December. Hopefully one of the heroes, at least from the winter section, will be in December, so that we get a consistent new hero every month from October and onwards. And they also moved, of course, the game mode from fall to winter, unfortunately, but on the other hand they moved Geonosis from winter to November, so there's kind of a trade-off there. And when I did my poll yesterday, actually it was a 50-50 split when I asked what you were most excited for, Geonosis or the game mode. So I was thinking that maybe one of them would win, so we could get a better idea of what they should prioritize, although that might not even be relevant, but still it was a 50-50% split, which I thought was quite interesting. And another thing I'm very curious about is how they're actually gonna do with the vehicles, because first of all, the ATTE is not on rails, and I'm curious if it's gonna be a multi-seat vehicle or not, because I mean, it does have a lot of different parts you can use. You can have the main control and the 2 main blaster cannons, I guess you could say, but you also have the rotating turret on top that at least in the old games had a separate driver. So I think 2 slots for the ATT would be nice. As for the Barc Speeder, I'll admit that I'm not too excited for it, simply because the speeder mechanics currently in the game are not very good. But maybe they will do a better job with these ones. That would be very nice. And then of course the STAP is something that was one of my favorites in the original Battlefront games, which is why I'm very excited for that to be added to the game. Someone in my chat brought up a good point, which is how are they gonna actually add a STAP and Barc Speeder? Because everything that's added needs to kind of be in a class of its own, and both the STAP and Barc Speeder would fit within the actual speeder class. And my guess would be that the Barc Speeder will be in the speeder class, but that the STAP might be in the armor class, not because it really fits there, but because they kind of need to put it somewhere to not break the entire back end of the game, unless they decide to give the STAP a completely own vehicle slot, which could also work. But that's my guess, at least, that STAP will be on the armor, although it doesn't necessarily fit there very well. But that's really all the news for now, because most of this I covered in my longer video earlier this week, so if you want to check that one out, you can find it probably at the end of the video or on my channel and so on. But I will be live streaming later tonight, playing the new update. I just got home from an event, so I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but that's gonna be the first thing I do after dinner, so stay tuned for that. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.